So, I like to think sometimes that my motivation for self-improvement is very virtuous. Like I have this image of myself in my mind, the best possible version of me in 10 years, and I'm constantly working towards that. Not for women, not for money, not for fame, not for validation, not for anything, not for attention, just for me, for my own benefit, for just the greater good of myself. But sadly, or not sadly, as we're about to talk about, that's not true. Um, and you might feel the same way. I will admit, I get a lot of motivation when exercising, motivation to just do better in general, to quit the bad habits, to do better. A lot of it comes from my past failures with women. Um, Not like I've had any major failures with women, it's just, the typical shit that young guys go through that shapes you to be a man, to be more tough emotionally and mentally. I think overall it's a better thing, but a lot of that kind of pushes me to do better. Now, a part of me has always tried to shy away from that, to be like, no, that's not a good source of motivation. Um, I want my motivation to come from like pure mental toughness. Like I don't want the crutch of like motivation. I want drive and discipline and all these things to push me to do better. But I've come to realize that these my motivations, like these darker thoughts of the shit that I've been through. Not that I'm traumatized or anything. We're all a little traumatized, aren't we? Uh, like when I think about women that I've talked to or I've been with, and I'm like, damn, it makes you want to, push through that set, right? But at the end of the day, it's more like I don't want to be the guy that I was back then. So I need to push through to become better. I think about the women that I've ever been involved with, and I think about where they are now, and I think about that I've failed with them. I don't want to fall like down to the lower echelons of manhood, of the percentages. You know what I mean? I wanna punch through the top. Like I wanna be like, yeah, I'm fucking better than you, dude. Like, bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to fall behind to where you were. You think about who you used to be, and you're like, nah, that ain't it. Like, that's not who I want to be. But of course, I used to view it as a crutch, but it's like, the drive to be better, is that not the same thing as that? Like, who I am right now, who I used to be, that's not who I want to be now. So I'm gonna do crazy shit to try to run away from that, to try to become better. Not necessarily run away from it, but deal with it now. So it's all kind of the same thing, like motivation from dark thoughts. I mean, think about the women you've been with. It isn't really that dark. There's much more dark things you could think of, like I want to fuck more women, so I will do better. That's one motivation, of course, but I've realized that motivations from the past can be a lot stronger than imagining like a future goal. It's like something about it is it's weird, man. Like I know I'm saying like a lot because I it's hard for me to articulate this. Usually I can articulate things, but this is like a weird uh, mental function that I can't really explain. Somebody else probably could explain it better than I can, but I'm trying my best here. I know you've felt this. This isn't just me. It's like I kind of have something to prove now to myself that I'm not the same person I was back then. Or maybe just thinking about women makes you exercise better and run further and finish the set. That could be it. That very well may be it, but I think it's more about like how a breakup, when you go to the gym and you're like, you start thinking about the breakup, all the happy times, and you're like, fuck, I'm gonna fucking push the fucking weight. It's the same principle. And I've come to realize I don't think there's really, I don't think there's anything wrong with using that type of motivation to push through, to do better every now and then, to dig that up. I think it's normal. Um, as long as you don't let it, like, tear you away. You know what I mean? I think using it like that too can help you get through it. You kind of use the energy that you have pent up from such an event or such events, as I think of. I mean, I'm a virgin. I've dated like one girl, never had anything crazy, never had a real breakup, so to speak. But I've had a lot of, shitty experiences with women. But if I ever do go through a serious breakup, I probably will use it as motivation. I used to think like, nah, I wouldn't even think about that. I would just use my own raw mental prowess to keep pushing forward. But the whole breakup thing, it doesn't sound like a bad motivator. As long as as long as it doesn't tear you away like throughout the day, you're not constantly thinking about it like, gotta finish my breakfast, fuck that bitch, like, that type of thing. And obviously, that's too far. You're kind of fucking your own mental health at that when you're going that extreme. But I've changed my opinion. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Dark thoughts can be a very good motivator. Of course, you have to be careful. How dark are they? Are they, evil, or are they just a little, dark? Because we as humans are just naturally a little bit dark. I don't think we're naturally evil. Otherwise, good wouldn't exist. You know what I mean? So, that's about it.